The downtown Seattle waterfront, it is a vital part of this city, and it's been basically under a renovation since 2009. Today we're going to explore the Seattle waterfront here in Seattle, where the median home price just under $850,000. Time on market for a home is 7 days. Things move very quickly, still a desirable place to live. And we're going to talk to a good friend of mine who's been instrumental in the waterfront's revitalization about how many homes are actually down here on the Seattle waterfront. Behind me right there, that's the new ferry terminal that shuttles folks between Bainbridge Island and Bremerton. Bainbridge Island is a great day excursion. Go down to Bremerton, it gets you out onto the Olympic Peninsula even further, easily accessible on a ferry. And if you ever come to Seattle, definitely get on a ferry, take the ride over to Bainbridge, check out Blackbird Bakery, walk around there, get back on the ferry, and you see the whole downtown of Seattle from the water, from a ferry. If you don't have access to a boat, you see all that. It's pretty cool at night, especially in the evening. Got to tell you right here, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Living in Western Washington 425. We're always doing videos like this, introducing folks like yourself to all the awesome places here in Washington State. You know, we're coming up on Ivers Fish Park. This place has been in business since 1938. Their big saying is keep clam, you know, kind of keep calm. My good friend Bob Donegan is the president of Ivers, and he invited me to lunch today, and we actually had some great halibut, and after that we talked about the waterfront. And Bob is the man, because he's been instrumental, like I said, in revitalizing this waterfront. Let's go inside and we're going to talk to Bob and get the lowdown on all things Seattle waterfront. My friend Bob Donegan of Ivers, and Bob is a champion of the Seattle waterfront, and when it comes to Seattle waterfront information, you are my encyclopedia. You're the guy I go to because you're in the thick of it, you know what's going on. How are things on the waterfront this summer?
Well, sadly I'm old and I've been down here a long time, so I've been living through it. It's a good summer. Yeah. We're seeing lots of visitors come in from out of town. SeaTac Airport this year will beat the flight counts from 2019 before Corona. Really? We had 1,778,000 passengers board or get off a cruise ship in Seattle last year. I think we'll do close to 2 million passengers this year. Wow. And the weather is gorgeous down here, so we're getting lots of locals to come down as well. If you look out on Zidzalalic, Alaska Way, the new street, right, you will see that we're running the free waterfront shuttle from the Seattle Center to the waterfront by Coleman Dock and over to Union Station, King Street Station. So we're getting many riders on that shuttle, locals and visitors. It's busy and happy down here. It's always happy.
Is that the blue bus?
Blue and orange, that's right.
I was behind that one today. The waterfront is, you can see there's still construction, and it's been a long time coming because we did the viaduct first, we got rid of the tunnel. When is everything going to be done, do you think? Like when can people come down and be like, oh, it's totally finished?
So construction, first relocation of utilities started in 2009. So if you think about how many years that is that we're under construction down here, but everything should be finished in February or March of 2025. So everything done, plantings, artwork, all completed. New restrooms at Pier 58, public restrooms, will be completed this winter.
It's something I know we were talking about, you're excited about, is the new aquarium.
Oh, it's stunning.
Yeah. Have you been in there?
So 3 weeks ago today, we got the temporary certificate of occupancy from the fire department. Okay. 3 weeks ago from Thursday, we put the first fishes in the tank. Oh, really? We start with the tiniest fishes so they can find the corals and places to hide. Then the bigger fishes come in, so they can find places to hide. And after about 8 weeks, that's when the biggest sharks and rays go into the tank. 335,000 gallons. Grand opening will be August 29th, later this summer. And it is spectacular.
You know, one thing that you made me really aware of in the real estate world is you have Belltown, Capitol Hill, Queen Anne, you have your neighborhoods, but the waterfront's a neighborhood as well. There's a lot of places to live on the Seattle waterfront, isn't there?
So in the 22 blocks between Yesler Way and Pike Street, west of First Avenue, before this renovation project began, we had 3,000 residents down here. Today we have 13,000. And when the next two projects get completed, we'll have 15,000 people living in those 22 blocks.
Right.
Because as you can see, it's just spectacularly gorgeous down here.
Yeah.
And you've got fun stuff to do, you've got restaurants, you're close to the art museum. If you want to work out, you can work out. If you want to ride the wheel or take a waterfront tour, you can all do that within steps of your apartment or condo down here.
When I was walking over here from where I parked and we were hanging out today, I was thinking it's very Embarcadero-ish. I'm definitely getting that. I know it's very unique in Seattle, but with everything that's gone on, the wider walkways, it's just so much more inviting. And I guess it used to be.
But sadly, we don't have the F-line, the rail trolleys that they have running up and down the Embarcadero. We used to have the George Benson trolley, but San Francisco is anchored by what's Ellison's company's name? Oracle Park. And we're anchored by T-Mobile Park, just at opposite ends of the waterfront. And then we got the gorgeous park, Central Waterfront, plus Myrtle Edwards and Centennial Park. It's spectacular down here, especially on days like today.
Right. And what was it you were telling me? You could ride a bike from
West Seattle,
right?
All the way to downtown Seattle without crossing any streets or hitting many red lights, all the way up to Ballard.
It's amazing.
How can you beat that?
You can't. So there's lots of choices to live. I like the waterfront. Over there is West Seattle. Cambridge over there.
Don't forget Magnolia.
Magnolia, right? I mean, you got places to go around here. Sure, Bob, thanks. Well, Bob certainly is a special guy. He has been so instrumental, as I said, in doing all of this that you see behind me and the connection between downtown and the waterfront. It's been terrific. And as you can see here on a summer day in July, lots of folks coming to visit and check out all that Seattle has to offer on the waterfront. Now I'm going to point the camera the other way and talk you through some of the great parts of this core of the waterfront as we move from south to north here, right along the water in Seattle. You see there's lots of nice wide walkways. That wasn't always the case down here. It really was right up against the road. And they used to have this structure. It was the viaduct. The viaduct was 2 stories, lanes going north and south, and it was here for years. It was a great place to see the sunset, but it was terrible. It was falling down, so they took that down and opened up this connection really between downtown and the waterfront when they knocked down the viaduct. Now, how do people get from north to south now? Well, it's a tunnel underground, all that, and that allowed them to build all these beautiful buildings and really connect the waterfront there to the downtown there. So you see, without that big double decker of concrete and just kind of some of the undesirable looks it had, it's gone now. So you see a city that's really embracing its waterfront. And with this revitalization, the long-term plan to get all this done, it's working out fairly well. Let's head over here. See lots of folks. You can rent scooters if you want, transportation to get around. This is a definite thing if you want to do it. It's got Argosy cruises. They've been in business for forever, really. They offer Christmas cruise ships in the holiday time, which is great. Go over here. Look at this. So they have a Tillicum excursion. You head out to an island. They do a whole thing where they get you acquainted with some of the Native American history in this part of the country. They give you a salmon lunch or dinner. It's definitely worth the trip. Something that is really a special excursion here in Seattle. And there it is. Those are the Olympic Mountains in the distance, and just a beautiful place. Let's head out on this pier and we'll show you just a little bit more. So looking out over there is West Seattle, and that boat with the Union Jack on it right there, that is the Victoria Clipper. And those boats move around here pretty quick, but one of the main things they do is they'll take you up to Victoria Island, which is in Canada, and they'll take you to the inner harbor there. You get there fairly quick. It makes it easy for another excursion from downtown Seattle out to there. You see a lot of the desirability. And there's the ferry terminal where we started our tour. Of course, again, in the distance, one of my favorite spots in all of this western region of Washington, West Seattle. Just a terrific place to live, work, you name it. We'll talk more about that in one of my other videos, but let's continue our tour in the waterfront here. You see at the Great Wheel, you see that a lot on the primetime football games, all lit up at night. Another one of the touring boats around here, the Sailor Sea Tours. Really, any possibilities you want to take up to get on the water and experience Seattle from the water perspective is always something to not pass up. But go back to the Great Wheel, they call it. The cool thing is there, you could actually get dinner in some of those pods and go around and see the city behind you, which is pretty special at night. It offers up some great views, and again, it's all about perspective, so getting different views and looks on things. Let's continue on down here. This is a famous place right here, the Crab Pot. Lots of people take visitors from out of town here, and they do like a crab boil, and they basically come to your table and they'll dump a whole thing of like, it's got like some sausage in it, corn, and of course crab. So that's always fun. It's a very touristy thing to do. Maybe some better crab options other places, but it's definitely about the atmosphere and being in here. Continue on down. You see right here, there's still construction. So like Bob said, this whole deal isn't going to be done until March or April. So plenty of work to do. And again, the cool thing is all of the wide sidewalks now that exist for us to walk. It's a better shot of the Great Wheel. I mean, this is really, they call those Chamber of Commerce days for Seattle. This is what today is. A lot of times in February, March, raining sideways. Not exactly a Chamber of Commerce day, but like we always say in my house, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. So if you move to Seattle, you go to REI or Amazon, whatever, just get some good rainproof gear. Don't let it stop you from getting out and experiencing really one of the best parts of this country. And we're getting closer to Pike Place Market. That's up over there. We're not going to tour Pike Place there today because I could spend probably 3 days in there. But that's where the market is, up there on the northern end of the waterfront. And then those steps right there take you right up to the Pike Place, take Western Avenue, walk up there. It's very connected, and we're going to walk down here a little bit further and show you what Bob was talking about in the Seattle Aquarium. You can see a lot of work still to be done as they finish the sidewalks and all the walking areas around here. But check out the boulders left over from the Ice Age that they're actually putting into the concrete right here on the waterfront. That's pretty cool. There's going to be a bunch of those. I think you can see where they're doing those in those 3 sections up the street right here. So this is the main road, and it stretches all the way down the south end here in the Soto area town, the stadium you see down there. That's Lumen Field where the Seahawks play their games, right next to that, T-Mobile Park. It's all connected, south to the north. It's just a terrific part of this whole revitalization of downtown. This is the new part of the Seattle Aquarium that's due to open next month. Looks terrific, still lots of work to do. And then that's the older part of the Seattle Aquarium that still houses fish and marine wildlife. They do some summer camps. But there it is, down here on this more northern end of the Seattle waterfront. So come on this end a little bit, see the waterfront walkway opening up, really get that sense of the Olympic Peninsula and the beauty that's out there. Do want to show you this right here. That's a new part of the aquarium. They're calling it the Ocean Pavilion. These are the steps. They're going to have some small concerts here. Again, it's just going to provide a lot of different opportunities for you to do things, whether you're visiting in the summer. You know, Seattle, little secret, is actually best in the fall. The month of September, you can't beat. It's fantastic. This is down near Pier 62, and this is really the wide open space. But what this used to be was a great spot for outdoor concerts. I saw a couple down here. I saw Sinead O'Connor. Someone gave us free tickets, and I never thought I would want to see a Sinead O'Connor concert. May Sinead rest in peace. But it was really one of the better concerts I've ever seen. So that was pretty cool. And then we came down one time and saw Chris Isaac, and he was great. And they served great strawberry shortcake. So you see it right here. I mean, they're just doing so much work to engage the public. And then there's some of that living that Bob and I talked about, the many residents here in the waterfront, which is its own community. Lots of options. If you want to live in Seattle, you want to have that waterfront experience, you see that there's so many condominiums and housing options right here on the waterfront, and they're really nice. I have a friend of mine that lives not too far from here, loves it. Waterfront is her special place, and really when the sun sets over there at night, how do you beat that? It's fantastic. One project I'm a big fan of that's opening up next to that new aquarium there is the big steps that lead you right up to First Avenue. It's all about that connection. Again, this used to be so disjointed, and the viaduct used to be there, like I said, that big clunky concrete highway that just really separated the waterfront from downtown. That's not there, so they really enable that connection even further with steps and the ability to walk down here and enjoy the waterfront just steps away. And you look on top of the aquarium, benches, public spaces, that's terrific. And this again is what Seattle is all about. And on a day like today, Chamber of Commerce Day, I mean, how do you beat it? Living here, downtown waterfront, live over there in West Seattle, Bainbridge Island, take your pick. If you're interested in living on the Seattle waterfront or really anywhere in Western Washington, feel free to reach out to me, Mike Ferrari of Windermere Real Estate here in Seattle. All of my details are in the comments below. We can have a conversation on the phone. Feel free to email me. Check me out at MikeFerrariHomes.com where you can register, and I'll take all your information from there and we can talk. And if that doesn't suit you, we can also set things up for a Zoom conversation and we can get comfortable with each other and actually seeing each other, or we can have a talk in person if you're here in the Northwest. Remember, anything you need to make you happy living here in Western Washington, I can help. Thanks for taking this tour of the Seattle waterfront. We'll see you next time right here on Living in Western Washington 425.